I would definitely recommend Mandata to other hauliers for multiple reasons. I think we're a small company and we want to operate as professionally as we possibly can, and it certainly worked for us in terms of bringing all of those jigsaw pieces together and allowing us to operate as professionally and as promptly as possible. My name is Andrew Clark. I am the operations manager for the TWS Group, which is the parent company to HH Tankering services, and I predominantly here just oversee operations. At HH Tankering we've got 12 drivers, we've got 11 tractor units with 13 trailers and 2 rigid vehicles. We do complete liquid waste, and that is mixed between non-hazardous and hazardous. So we've got 4 ADR outfits and we move various industrial and chemical wastes, working for utility companies such as Anglia Water and companies that are involved in gas production and those sort of areas. We were looking for a transport management software because we were a very manual process. When we came into the company, everything was on paper or various computers, and it was a hugely manual process. I tried to solve some of those problems with spreadsheets, which helped immensely, but it was still very fragmented, and the various parts of the systems didn't talk to each other. They weren't abundantly obvious to other members of staff. We had the Mandata demo. We could just see everything we did in it. There was every piece of the puzzle, it was there. And then there was another piece and it was there, and oh, we do that, and now it's there. And all those pieces talk to each other, and they link to each other, so we know when a lorry's going to be, when we're planning, we know if a lorry's going in for MOT prep, or we know if a driver's going to be on holiday, and it just helped link everything together in one screen, and it just made sure we were doing everything we should be doing, and we were doing it as well as we could because all the information was to hand when you needed it. We're on the TMS Go Plus platform, and we are using the Manifest app, and we are using the driver checks, and the navigation is also installed on the drivers' mobile phones as well. And so I think we're using everything that they offer. In terms of waste reduction, it's helped us certainly in terms of paper pads that the drivers take around with them, which in turn obviously helps with the quality of that work as well, because drivers aren't always great administrators, so they can make lots of mistakes potentially on their paperwork, so that avoids that, which certainly helps the time in the office, because we can spend a lot of time interpreting paperwork and time spent on site, etc., which we can just pull out of the Mandata system without having to speak to any drivers. So it's definitely helped in terms of waste of that side of things, and certainly in terms of time spent in the office. It's helped with cash flow certainly, because it just allows us to very regularly invoice and very quickly invoice. So what used to take us a few days to get prepared and get invoiced out, we can probably now do that in a morning. Mandata certainly helps with visibility of planning, so our vehicles are tracked using Mandata. Again, we used to use a third-party system which was on a different screen, so everything's in one place, and it certainly helps with planning, because we know exactly where we are at all times. So yeah, I think it definitely helps. Mandata definitely helps us with compliance. It's one of the biggest benefits has been the driver vehicle checks. Now we have, again, all of that in one place. I keep banging on about that one place, but it's so important to have it all on one system. And it's not paper related, which can be lost. And so it certainly allows us to comply with any defects that we get reported from drivers, and make sure we correct those and record that they've been done regularly. In terms of customer satisfaction, I think they're getting all of their information in more professionally, more promptly, and they're getting their invoices quickly, and they're getting the service that they want. So I think it's definitely helped in all those categories. I think the Mandata features that we value the most are certainly the customer surcharge element, because that's taken a huge amount of the administration out of applying the fuel surcharge. And again, we wanted to avoid just blanketly putting our costs up, because it's something we have to do regularly anyway, so we didn't want another reason to have to do that. So we thought it was fair to do that way, and that really does help. The driver checks is also a huge benefit to us in terms of, again, as I've already spoken about, compliance, but it just makes sure that system is done on a regular basis. And the vehicle planner as well, I'd say, which is when you can pull all that information in to the screen as you need it as a planner, because it's very malleable. You can change what one planner has, the other one doesn't, because they do it in certain ways, and it just allows that to be configured to each individual user's requirements, and that's a big help as well.